If some of you have not heard of Cummins previously, we are known as a great power leader across the globe. We have a presence in multiple industries ranging from marine, mining, rail, automotive construction, defense, as well as ports and pumps. Today, specifically, the segment of focus that I would like to draw on and focus on is automotive. In South Africa, across the region, automotive industries has key focus areas that makes them competitive. This would be total cost of ownership. So Cummins, yes, is an engine manufacturer, power generation, as well as filtration. But we like to extend our value to our customers, going just beyond the engine by providing valuable add-on technology that can help them be competitive in their industries. So just to give you a brief overview on connected solutions, this is kind of how Cummins terms a telematics offering. So if you hear me say connected solutions, I'm really referring to what is Cummins offering in the telematics space. So globally, Cummins has been making great strides in the telematics space, offering telematics solutions for markets that are both on-highway and off-highway. The basic idea is to be able to create more value for customers using their own data than they can create on their own, and ultimately just improving their experience of using and owning Cummins powered equipment. So in a broad range of Cummins Connected Solutions product suite, I'd like to make mention of one in particular, Connected Diagnostics. So this Connected Diagnostics is basically an add-on technology to automotive customers. I'll just briefly explain more on what Connected Diagnostics is about. So high level, we describe Connected Diagnostics as a software-only application that works through the Geotab device, or kind of like a remote monitoring system. So through the telematics connectivity or through the Geotab device, engine system fault data is fed into Connected Diagnostics or to Cummins. So Cummins applies its expert service tools or uses its years of experience to analyze this data, because Cummins, after all, is the expert on engine system data management. So it analyzes this data and instantly feeds back to the customer, whether it's through a mobile app, online portal, or email notification, effective information to help customers manage their engine fault. This could be a fault code. You would get the root cause of the fault code, followed by recommended action, as well as a link to the nearest Cummins service dealer. So I'm pretty sure everyone here knows how telematics works, but we've spoken about monitoring different components of the vehicle, but I'd like to draw specifically to engine system data, which can be quite complex to manage and also complex to use this data very effectively. So how Cummins adds value is that it filters through this data and then converts this engine system fault data into information that is more customer solution orientated and kind of helps the customer to manage their engine system faults. So once the customer is registered with Connected Diagnostics, it's activated the moment an urgent engine system fault occurs. So this could be a red stop now malfunction indicator lamp. It could be an amber service now or service soon malfunction indicator lamp, as well as an associated engine performance derate timer attached to it. So just to kind of conclude or summarize how Cummins Connected Diagnostics work is we have the engine wirelessly connected to Cummins through the connectivity of the TSP device, in this case the Geotab device. The engine system fault occurs. This fault data is fed through to Cummins. Cummins then analyzes this data and sends informative or expert guidance back to the customer within seconds. So moving away from the functionality of the product and how the product works, I want to speak more on the value add side of it. In automotive industries, whether it's a fleet, a truck operator, a truck manager, or whether they're running buses, total cost of ownership is really important. And we as Cummins want to add value in terms of how can we make our customers more competitive in their industry through this product. So key aspects of the total cost of ownership or competitive drivers that we look at addressing through Connected Diagnostics is one, maximizing uptime. I mean, I don't think any fleet operator or fleet manager can really afford to have their vehicle incurring an excessive amount of downtime. Secondly, you need to ensure, or a fleet manager or operator needs to ensure that their vehicles are performing optimally. Third, you need to have a reliable vehicle as well as reliable support, as well as driver safety and vehicle protection. And fifth, efficient operations. So Connected Solutions, from a value proposition perspective, really aims to address these concerns from a total cost of ownership perspective. I'll explain a bit more briefly on these points in my next slide. So closing the gap in performance analysis and allowing fleet operators and managers to make more informed decisions. So because you would get the notification on the engine system fault immediately as and when it occurs, or in live time, this really helps the fleet manager to make or have more efficient operations. I'll give you an example. So if, for instance, a fleet manager receives a notification that the engine is going to derate in, just say, 4 operational hours, he knows this, so he's able to plan his load accordingly to this notification. Second, he's able to schedule his vehicle in for service much more in advance. So because we can kind of prevent or avoid any possible progressive damage, this kind of is viewed as informed decision-making or preventative technology. Secondly, avoiding progressive engine damage. So this kind of links into my previous point, but I'll give you an example. So we have a fleet manager who is kilometers away from the driver. The driver's moving through a long-haul distance between Durban to Johannesburg, and there's a fault that occurs. It could be a red stop now, urgent fault. Because the fleet manager receives a notification as well, he knows that the vehicle needs to stop now. So instead of the driver continuing to drive when he really shouldn't, he's able to advise the driver to stop now. And this would avoid any progressive damage to the engine system components, as well as protects the driver and the vehicle. Without the fleet manager receiving this notification as well, he would not have any idea that the vehicle needs to stop and the driver needs to stop driving. Thirdly, getting back into the driver's seat faster, or just reducing the amount of downtime that the vehicle is incurring. An example would be, there's an urgent engine system fault. You get the root cause, you get the recommended action. You're able to schedule your vehicle in for service much more in advance. You're able to order parts much more in advance. You get informed decision-making information that kind of eliminates the need for manual intervention. It reduces the need for some kind of guesswork to determine exactly what is the problem and how do we solve this problem. So in total, reducing the amount of downtime and getting your vehicle back onto the road much quicker. So a simple registration and subscription process that most of our OEMs or end users are following. It's a simple agreeing to the terms and conditions on connectedsolutions.cummins.com and agreeing to data sharing. So depending on the compatibility of the equipment, as Connected Diagnostics is applicable to OEMs or customers that rely on only electronic engines to power the equipment, then based on the compatibility of the engine platform, Connected Solutions product support team would determine which products are most applicable for that engine system. So in South Africa or in the Africa Middle East region, Connected Diagnostics is the only one that is available on this continent. We would see that where in North America, there is a larger product suite that is available to automotive customers in that region. So that summarizes my presentation on the value add of how Cummins is striving to create more value for customers in the automotive industry through telematics.